In this video we're going to go through example 2, and these problems are worded problems which can be quite challenging, and it's asking you to express the following problems using numbers and symbols before solving them, and it can be very difficult to convert a worded problem into numbers and symbols. Now, when I start with questions like this, I like to, I guess, kind of paint a picture of what's happening. So let's have a look. Question A, triple the difference of 12 and 7. So if someone asked me to find the difference of 12 and 7, I could quite easily work that out in my head. It's 5. There's a difference of 5 between these numbers. And what I need to do is go, all right, well, what did I do to find the 5? Well, to get the 5, I subtracted it. I went 12 minus 7 is 5. So that's how I found the difference. All right. And it says to triple the difference of 12 and 7. So that would be 15. And how did I come up with 15? Well, I tripled 5, which is the same as timesing it by 3. So here's our triple part of the question. Now the thing is, I was able to come up with the answer, but I wasn't able to express this problem using numbers and symbols. So how am I going to do that? Well, now that I've painted a picture, I reckon I can. First of all, I found the difference. So first of all, I went 12 minus 7. And then after that, I timesed it by 3. Now, I really need to put this in brackets before I times by 3, because according to the order of operations, it will try to times it first, and we want to force it to subtract first. Okay, now this is actually solved now. This is my written problem written up as a using numbers and symbols, and then I'll write the solution, which is 15. Okay, now moving on to question B now. This one says the product of 5 and 8 is taken away from the quotient of 102. So let's just break this down a bit at a time. Product of 5 and 8. What's that? Well, product actually means times. So we're just going 5 times 8, which in this case is 40. So that's that part. And we've got the quotient of 102, and quotient means division. So we're going to go 100 divide 2, which is 50. Alright, so we've got these two parts. Now, it said that the product of 5 and 8 was taken away from the quotient of 102. So that means at the end you would have gone, well, I've got my 50 and I take away the 40. Even though the 40 is written first, if it's taken away from something, you actually write it at the end. And 50 minus 40 is 10. So that's our solution, but we need to, once again, we need to write this as one problem using words and symbols. So how are we going to do that? Well, we basically took the 50 and we subtracted the 40, and the 50 was found by going 100 divide 2. So the 50 was represented by 100 divide 2, and then we took away 40, and 40 was represented by 5 times 8, and it came out to 10. Now, just looking at this, I'm just thinking, do I need to put any brackets in here? But I actually don't, because the order of operations state that you do your division and multiplication and your subtraction last, and that's what we want to happen. And that concludes that concludes example 2.